Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Bianca and welcome to Vintage on Tap, the YouTube channel that shows you the behind the scenes steps and process of sewing. In this particular video though, we will be making a Seamwork Magazine Kristin top, which is this one here. I actually made this wrap top because I was gonna go to Italy this past summer and I really wanted something quick, easy, super rewarding, something I could just throw over a pair of jeans and just go sightseeing. So if you wanted to follow up on my trip to Italy, definitely check out my Instagram because I do have some really fun photos there. Now, as for the pattern itself though, I did want to let you guys know that I do have a promo code for this particular magazine. If you have not already checked out Seamwork Magazine, I have been a member for a really long time, and as you guys have seen on this channel, if you've been subscribed for a minute, I do a lot of patterns from them and they're definitely one of my go-to resources. So definitely check out the link down below. You get half off the first month of Seamwork Magazine, so you get it for $3. Super easy, and then you get a ton of patterns to choose from. Anyway, with that said, I'll go ahead and meet you at the end of the video, but let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, let's talk some fabrics. So I decided to use a linen type fabric from My Fabric Designs, which I've had for a little while. And I figured that because it was more of a linen type, it would have a slightly stiffer hand and I'd be able to get more of a trapeze top feeling from this Kristin. So I went ahead and cut everything out, because it was a linen type, like everything was like butter. Even just like poking the hole in the dart was super simple, and like it was so stable and it kind of was nice and thick, so even cutting it felt really well. It's like sometimes those really tactile things about fabrics is really nice. But anyway, I went ahead and played with the settings on my machine to really kind of work around and stabilize everything. I kind of played around and made sure that especially because of the fabric and the weave, that everything made sense in terms of the settings. But anyway, go ahead and do your darts like normal. I went ahead and trimmed mine just because my darts were so large after doing my full bust adjustments. But if you're gonna have to trim them like I did, make sure to press them open and press them as smoothly as possible. So you can see there all my darts are trimmed. Now, the tricky part about the sewing of everything together is just, because everything, the way that everything is cut, you can sew things on incorrectly and cut them backwards. So if you need to take a little piece of tape to really mark which way is the front, which way is the back, all that sort of thing, just go ahead and do that. It helped me a lot. Now for the bias binding, what I decided to do, rather than encasing the seams with bias binding as the instructions indicated, I decided to do a bias facing, which I have done a video about before. I'll go ahead and link that down in the description. But essentially what I did here was I closed up the bias tape and then I went ahead and matched it to the, to the armhole there. Now, because this, there's actually 3 sleeve holes on this top, you want to make sure that you have enough of the correct color bias binding, which is actually a lot, especially since it's not just the armholes that are being bound up. It's also going to be the neck, and it's going to be all the way around the edge of the top. Everything's finished off in this bias binding, so make sure that you buy enough. For me, I actually ran out halfway through and I ended up having to sub out another color, so I forgot to take some pictures of it for the blog post, but but half of it is like this orange, which kind of goes, and then half of it is like this bright kind of yellow color. But because the fabric is really happy and nobody's going to be really looking at the bias facing on the inside, it turned out okay. If you've never done bias facing though, essentially you're like enclosing in that seam and then turning it towards the inside. So you kind of have this stable facing like piece all the way around the outside of your different seams. So in this one, as you can see, I'm doing the sleeve though. Give that a good press, and then after you've pressed it, you can go ahead and close that seam closed. And I don't know, I just really like how it fits and feels when it's done up. But anyway, you do that all the way around, and this actually stitches up extremely quickly. final little tiny little details here. Put your snaps in place. Now I made sure to try it on before I put in my snaps, just because I wanted to make sure that there was full closure. So instead of just like one snap, I ended up doing 3 across that strap. Cool. So there you can see there, stitched up really fast. I got it done within a couple hours, actually, even filming it. But I do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more Vintage on Tap, please go ahead and check out the website. Also go ahead and check us out on Instagram at Vintage on Tap, as well as, you know, checking out our Start Here page in case you're brand new to sewing. And I do have a lot of resources linked for you there. But hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe, all the places, all the stuff. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.